One of our final series of the day, and of the group stages in total, we got Rexar's Reborn versus Penny's Boys here in this two-game series. So, you know, we already went over all. I'm not going to do it all again. Simply put, they need a 2-0. Penny's Boys needs to win 2-0 here if they want to have a chance of making the top four. We're still not even sure if it absolutely will be the case, but they need to at least go 2-0, or else there's no point to even discuss it. So if they lose one of these games, it will be Bad Monkey Gaming and Reason Gaming as the other two teams to join Evil Corporation and Complexity. So welcome back, guys. And again, this is the series that we're casting for that reason. This actually has something on the line. Yes, Evil Corporation versus Complexity is happening as well. A great series there, but technically there is nothing really on the line there. So we figured it makes more sense to cast this one. Now, apparently Trulte is actually casting / spectating that series there. So if you wanted to check out her stream, get some dual stream going on, you can do so. So there you go. Yeah, at least there is a way to watch it if you really do want to. But this is going to be the one that we're casting, and here we go. I'm joined by St. Rocks once again. Okay, so now that we're back after the break there, we're good.
Ah, look at that pink hero.
Yeah,
right there.
They must not have been watching that BMG series.
I don't think so. Or maybe they have a plan to deal with it. But yeah, Wassel in Slap's hand definitely proved to be a very, very strong combination here of a player and a hero. Player and hero, yeah. So, Oh, but that's a Hellbringer. I don't know. We don't see Hellbringer a lot on Honkas these days, but that hero is still something to be reckoned with. If he gets that double OT, it's just, it's like the game almost. It's very close to being unwinnable. Yeah. At that point. But we haven't seen a whole lot of Rexar's Reborn, so I'm not sure what kind of position this Hellbringer is going to be in. If it's going to be a mid Hellbringer or a support Hellbringer. Second support in this case, because Empath would be the support. But I'm looking forward to see it.
I feel like that they've been running it usually in more of a support style. The couple times that we've seen the Rexars play it here at least, so yeah, maybe going to be seeing that. But we'll see what they do here in the end with that. You mentioned the Feral, the final pick here coming out. Again, Rexar is now technically, you could say, well, why should they even care? Well, yes, it's already known that they're going to a relegation match. But if they happen to go 2-0, then they would actually be ahead of Revolution, which means that they would play the second-place team from the Gold Division compared to having to play the first-place team. So, you know, there is a little bit of that there, too, where there's kind of something on the line for them to want to win this. And also, you know, just beating this team in general, I'm sure wouldn't be a bad thing either. So here we are with the bands. We got Fade, Ophelia, Prisoner, and Behemoth now coming out, with two more to go right here, one on either side. So we'll see what we eventually have happen here. Predator going to be the fifth band. Mewtwo maybe looking back at that previous game against BMG from Zlap there and taking out the Predator. But yeah, Predator has actually been getting a lot of attention lately, I feel like. So kind of the case here as well once again. What the hell is that? Saint? Are you serious right now?
Hello? Oh. I think I just lagged out.
Are you there?
Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Were you in the bathroom?
No.
What was that?
What? I lagged out. I couldn't hear you for a second. Hello?
Okay.
Are you here?
I am here. I am here. We'll just move on from that.
Okay.
Anyways, what do we got happening on here? Soul Stealer, Engineer, and the Flux.
Yeah, they banned Predator as well. So, I didn't know that. Like, I was actually talking about it. The Predator ban doesn't make a whole lot of sense because if they saw Slap play Wassel last game, it was like, I mean, what's that really gonna achieve? They have Wassel already. He's gonna take up too much space for a Predator to gain farm there.
Yeah. I like it's interesting what the interaction there in chat, you know, because Penny, well, not Penny, but Zlap in this case, snap picked that Flux coming after the Engineer, and clearly that was, or very likely possibly a plan there of Rexar's, but, you know, got to say, with the Hellbringer and Engineer, that's definitely some good synergy for a Flux, so definitely makes sense as left here to instead take it for themselves and figure, hey, we could use it just fine too, so. Ooh. Oh, wow, what a finish. Okay, so Hellbringer, no, not Hellbringer, Pestilence, the final pick from Rexars, and then you got Balfagor snap-picked by Zlap. Now, we have seen him do this. This is how they beat Evil Corporation in the one game. Just massive push. They're going for it again here. With the Balf, the Wild Soul, you got Torture on top of that.
That's going to be hard to deal with Pestilence. I mean, Hellbringer is a good hero for that, I want to say. But Pestilence and Swiftblade, not necessarily heroes you want in that position. Interesting.
All right, there we go. Into the game here. Yeah, this is now when we saw it when we saw them do it against Evil Corporation. I mean, Zlap got off to an insane start on Balfagor. It seemed like Evil Corporation maybe didn't necessarily put a lot of focus into worried about that early on. They lost a tower, though, pretty early, of course, and then it kind of snowballed from there. And eventually, just as a team, they just got so massive. You know, Wild Soul was just farming away in the jungle. So definitely looking for that similar result, to say the least, here from this kind of push style of lineup. But, yeah, you look at the counter push here on the Legion side, and there really isn't a lot. I mean, Engineer kind of brings a little bit, but outside of that, it's not the strongest. So that's definitely a concern here.
I mean, if Slab grows big this game, he is going to be very hard to stop. Like, together with the Just V and Wassel, who, by the way, got Hatchet, so he's probably going to be jungling the Wassel.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, and Slab's going to be short laning. Okay, yeah. And then they have the Torture behind. That's going to be really hard to stop, definitely.
Look at this here, the Legion side. Okay, they're hanging around the Congo pit, but not sure what that was about there, but they all kind of going together, and then they fall back, so.
They checked out the Kong, yeah. And Slap wrote in team chat or in buddy messages that Conger has been slain.
Oh, God.
Just poking fun at them here. I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, they definitely have a team that could
take
Kong fairly easy with both Pharaoh, Wassel, and Torture.
Yeah. No, this would have been a very good Conger killing team, but obviously it's always such a huge risk, even if you have a good team for it, because, I mean, that reason right there, if they were doing it, they definitely would have been spotted, and we would have had a big fight in our hands with probably like a lot of lesser life heroes on the Hellborn side. So it didn't happen, though. Look at this, what's going on, though. Ward of Psycho's down from Empath here in the jungle. Swiftblade's going to run up. They're going to try to catch Wildslayer. Just V, he's sleeping.
Oh,
he's not moving.
He's okay.
He was looking elsewhere, and he's in trouble. In fact, dead trouble. Down he goes. Yeah, you could tell. He was definitely looking elsewhere on the map, and all of a sudden he's found. That's a huge start here for
he wasn't even, like, was he pooling with the bear? Was that it? I felt like I saw the bear right next to him.
He ported it back from somewhere, so whatever he was doing, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so he had his mind on something else. That's really unfortunate. He's even gonna miss the stack here on the small camp.
Yeah.
That's gonna actually lower his farm ability by a lot.
That was a good time to kill, and they're gonna also play aggressive against Balfagor. So I will say in the matchup against Evil Corporation, that seems like something that they didn't do. They kind of let Balfagor kind of do his own thing almost. And that kind of backfired, so they're not letting that happen here as they address it.
Well, I mean, Swiftblade and Empath is a pretty damn strong dual lane, and if they catch Torture up here, yeah, this is definitely not going to be an easy game for Slap to get the ball running. And with Vassal being shut down this early, he's not going to be pushing towers that fast. Well, they're actually deciding to try up here. I kind of like that decision from Rexers. They're gonna make sure that Balfagor really isn't gonna be pushing anytime soon.
Yeah. In fact, they're gonna even harass him while he's trying to do the creep pull over here with Torturer, putting in the auto attacks and keeping him occupied, as we see here. So the wall not gonna be the biggest deal in the end, but yeah, a good amount of damage at the same time coming out. On a Torture, you just see they're constantly poking in. Here comes a Keck Stump. Balfagor He will be fine once again, but really, these are two supports that, they're fine missing out on a little bit of farm and some experience for the sake of preventing you from getting it, of course. So we do got the middle lane matchup of Hellbringer versus Flux in the meantime, and especially when we have a try versus try, obviously those solo lanes are extra important, you could say, in terms of them getting a good start and the impact that they have. Hellbringer is actually playing more of a farming Hellbringer here, as he is in the middle doing his thing. And I would think he's set up to have a pretty good time here against Flux. But as I say that, I mean, he's 9-1 compared to a 14-5 Flux now. So, I know Flux is actually a strong laner himself, but it seems like Hellbringer, I figured he would kind of be too, but...
I think Flux is stronger than Hellbringer in the 1v1 matchup, at least until Hellbringer gets level 5. The Demon Wave deals a lot of damage, but Flux has a lot of health to work with. And up until that point, his auto attack is a lot stronger than Hellbringer's.
Yeah. Wow, top lane, what is going on here? They get the kill on it. Torture going to come at a cost, most likely Swiftblade. We're going to take, it's not enough for the kill, the wall off in the last second. Beautiful play from Empath. And allows the health potion ticks on Swiftblade. Now here comes Wild Soul. I don't think they're going to be able to catch him, though, unless the minions maybe kind of cut him off here. But they're going to be picked off one by one, and Swiftblade will survive. That was a big dive right there to secure the kill for the Legion side there. So, very well played. As bottom lane? No. Simply, in fact, actually, Pestilence might be in trouble. That Hellfire is doing a lot of work. Tormented Soul, it's just not enough damage, though. He only has a level 1 of it. It looks like he's maxing out the Hellfire here. And proves to not be enough, so... Let's talk about that matchup for a second, by the way. I mean, Pestilence versus Pharaoh. Definitely wouldn't have seen this one coming, but Pestilence 19-0, Pharaoh 20-4. So, seems like Fabelli's actually slightly, but very close really in the end between those two.
I don't know. It's... When Pestilence gets level 6, he will be able to arrest Pharaoh out of the lane with the minus armor applied on him. But right now, it should be pretty easy. Like, Pestilence doesn't really box out Pharaoh more than Pharaoh boxes out Pestilence. So, yeah, that's just how it goes. A fairly even lane there.
Yeah. Swiftblade, though, he's proven to have a very good time, especially now with the kill on top of there, or the 2 even for that matter. Obviously got the Bloodlust kill up here, 370 gold per minute. Slapped, not so much. He's having a struggle, and again, that's the whole goal of this. So, something tells me, I wouldn't be surprised if they were paying attention to that Evil Corporation match and, figured, okay, well, this is how we'll deal with it if they try something like that. Balfagor, by the way, he is holding his ground right here. Regurgitate coming out. Here comes Pharaoh. He is level 6. He's going to wrap the Pharaoh in. He hit the creep wave. He's not able to catch Swiftblade. And now Swiftblade's going to spin down Balfagor, the auto attack to finish him off. Meanwhile, in the background, Wild Soul. He's trying to at least get a kill out of this, but nice job with the Essence Link. Swiftblade at least will go down for them, but the wall from Empath, good timing there. However, Pharaoh...
Scatter.
Oh, look at that. The block's not enough. Auto attacks. This should be enough. Oh, my God. Barely.
He could just have used the Mummy Wall there, but I guess Fib really didn't want to use mana on her. But he was in range with the Mummy Wall for a long time there.
Oh, true, to even for the damage. But, yeah, even especially the trap, too. So,
yeah.
Well, does get the kill in the end. Just took a little bit longer there. But middle lane, look at this. Malphite's coming down, actually, as Pestilence comes from the other side. That makes a little more sense. I was wondering what this was all about, what the plan was there, and there you go. Pestilence flies in with a swarm and secures the kill. Balfagor, he finds himself middle lane, only to find himself in trouble, actually. Yeah, you see Pestilence chasing, has a stun. No, he doesn't, out of mana. So, in fact, going to try to turn it around, but now here comes Torture. Impalement is going to be used. It's just non-stop action right here, but Panty is going to fall on Torture, getting a little too occupied. And now Wild Soul takes the stun with the Essence Link, but Malphite is just going to run him out of the lane. But already an action-packed start we have here.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of people are underrating Rexars when it comes to, like, just entertainment, because these guys play very aggressive. And as you can see, we have a really active game. 7 kills in 7 minutes. That's pretty neat. That's pretty neat for everyone involved. Both us and the viewers can enjoy it. Top lane.
Balfagor being dove right here. He's just going to run on through, though. Ghost March is actually pretty important to have against Balfagor. That or even an Energizer because of the phase effect. Belfagor really likes to trap people with
Oh.
those minions. Nice hook, by the way, from Pharaoh. He only caught Swiftblade, though. The Swift Slashes immediately come out, the spin, and down goes Pharaoh. So what ended up being a good hook on paper ended up being a bad hook in reality, as it's now a 2-for-0. Oh, 2-for-1. Empath did go down, but Swiftblade, he's still on the run. He has a mana battery. He's got the Ghost Marchers. He should be fine here.
Depends on the Flux, I want to say. He's coming with the flank here.
They're going to spend a lot of time chasing him, though, if they try, yeah.
He's going to run the entire way around the map here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, he gets out.
He's good to go. So, good getaway from him. And it's safe to say, obviously, again, Mewtwo on Swiftblade, 430 gold per minute. He's looking good. So, if you're your Panties boys here, you know, this is not going as planned. Belfagor is getting nothing. Wild Soul's doing okay, not really. What are there adjustments to make, or do you kind of just have to hope it works out?
I mean, they are not looking at to be able to push at all. But I think they're bot lane. Okay.
Good.
Fair just taking some heat. I really they need a way stronger start than this. And at this point, it's looking really grim for them. I'm top lane.
You know, it's kind of funny that we are seeing this other side of the spectrum to this strategy as, yeah, Belfagor, he's in some trouble up here. He's going to use the Hell on Earth, actually, and it's going to catch Engineer, so Rocky Balboa underestimated that. However, Malphus is going to be used to guarantee the kill onto Belfagor, so it ends up being a 1-for-1 support for the short lane farming Belfagor, definitely in favor still of Rexars. But yeah, it's interesting how, again, they ran this against Evo Corporation yesterday. It worked superb, and, you know, people were even talking about, it's like, I mean, this is ridiculous. Like, why don't they do this all the time? And now we kind of see this. I mean, there are ways to deal with the strategy, the lineup, and clearly one of it is put pressure on Belfagor specifically. Do not let him get the start, and he will not snowball like he did in that Evo Corporation matchup. And he's not a hero that's going to be like, okay, well, at least I'll recover. No, they wanted this early start here. And they're not getting it.
Nope. And so at this point, Pesty and Swiftblade, they have way better farm than Slap, and they're the extra carries. This team needs to perform. It needs to win the laning phase and the early game in order to be able to push these towers. And right now, it's just not happening. They actually have, like, Pesty just took a tower. They're one tower ahead against the pushing team.
Yep.
That's really not what you want to see.
Let me do some calculations real quickly. Yeah, that's not what you want. If you're,
So type it in the calculator. Yeah, the calculator says you're in trouble.
Yeah, Panties Boys is not looking good here as far as the start goes.
Should we, if Panty Boys loses this game, right? Let's play with that thought. They're gonna be out, right?
If they lose one of these games, they're not moving on. They're finishing in the middle here. So.
Okay. But you wanna
we could jump into the other series, yeah.
Exactly. That was what because a lot of people really want to watch that as well. So.
Oh, I know. Yeah. The reason why we're casting because right now it's actually the only one that actually matters. So it just to justify casting it, you know, it makes sense. But it's safe to say the other matchup is probably on paper a little more anticipated and entertaining.
Definitely.
So. Yeah, we'll jump into that one. Worst case if it is a loss here for them. But, I mean, there is still a game left, definitely, in this one, despite a slow start.
Yeah. We're not calling it just yet. They are managed. They're grouping up here. They took one tower, and they're about to get... I'm not actually sure what Rexers are doing here. They're grouping up as the entire team here. And, okay. They're going to prevent the secondary tower from being pushed. That's usually a really good thing. If you can prevent that secondary tower from being pushed, you usually have a, like... That's 5 players in the top lane that really only pushed one tower. You kind of want more than that.
You also look at Plicticid here on Pestilence. In fact, they're going to realize here on the Hellborn side soon what I'm talking about. A portal key already purchased. He's going to use it right there. Swarm goes up. Now, he just got Plated Greaves. He is actually pretty tanky here, but it's not going to matter. The Swarm obviously negating plenty of that, and he will fall. Just too much pressure coming out. But yeah, already a portal key on Pestilence at basically around 11 minutes into the game and using it off the bat here to keep Zlapped in check on the Balfagor, as we see there. So, yeah, the Flux pickup, again, going back to that, it was a preventive pickup from the Legion team, no doubt. But the synergy, it really isn't there. I mean, this is not a team that's like, oh, yeah, Flux ulti them, we're going to have this great, you know, wombo combo is what you usually want with them. No, I guess Hell on New Earth isn't horrible, but... it's not the Magnus. It's not the Behemoth, you know, the Hellbringer even in this case, you know, things like that. So,
Yeah, I don't know. Like they need to take somehow they need to take control over this game. They need to be pushing, and they need to be able to get the pushes done without losing the fight. And with Polky picked up on Pestilence, it doesn't seem like that's gonna be something that's gonna be happening. It seems like Pestilence is gonna be jumping someone. They're gonna be one man down. All of a sudden, Hellbringer ulti is gonna secure the fight. An engineer, Invis here, scouting, giving a lot of information, but he's gonna run into a Reward.
Uh-oh.
Fib is gonna be able to catch him.
Now, this could backfire, though. Out comes the energy field. Here comes support. So this is what I'm talking about. Malphite's going to come down with the skies, and sure, they get the kill, but it's definitely a cost. Down goes Pharaoh, most likely. Flux will pull them in. Hella New Earth. It catches Switchblade actually in a pretty bad spot. He's forced to use those flashes defensively right there, and he's still trying to get the hell on out of here. Nice job with the Demon Strike of Hellbringer. The port out from Switchblade. Yes! No. It's not going to be good.
Just barely. That's like half a second or something.
Thought he had it, but he did not. So, okay, so backfire potential did not backfire in the end. That actually worked out indeed for this Hellborn side, and
that's really important. This is actually their opening. They can take towers now.
Yeah, this is, I mean, they're going to get this, definitely this tower here. This is going to be their second tower kill now. And, I mean, you look at the GPM charts. As long as they're able to sustain it, you know, keep it somewhat even, if not take the lead, then, of course, they're in a great spot here. So, right now, they're kind of breaking even somewhat. But, as I say, that Balfagor is going to get caught once again, as does Wild Soul. He goes down. And now Balfagor, nice job of more so Han Gods kicking in the first hit. Goreproc coming out right there. They're still chasing. They're going pretty deep here. This is going to not work. Pestilence and Engineer will go down. Hellbringer's now in trouble. He'll fall as well. And Empath had the ass one up. Okay, well, they went a little too deep there.
Welcome back to the game, Team Hellborn.
Yeah.
Says Rexars.
We jinxed it,
we don't
man.
want this. Yeah, I guess maybe, but maybe that's for the better as well. This game is just turned a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
They're actually going to have to fight for it now, because now Team Penny's boys, they will be able to take towers, and they'll be dominating, because they just won 2 fights in a row. That means Legion side, they'll be a little bit hesitant about going in for another fight. I think that's what I would think. I just lost two team fights. I want to be thinking my next team fight out carefully in order to, you know, not lose the game. So yeah, I would like to see him just go bottom and push those towers in.
Oh, Pharaoh bottom lane. He is going to be caught here and killed off. Swarm is level 2 now, so it's minus 12 armor that Pestilence is able to apply to you here with that ability. So obviously going to do good
Flux
amount. Is Flux in trouble? Yep, he sure is. Here at the top side, Empath, the Essence Link. The Keg's on a mist, I believe. And actually, Flux will push them away right here. He's surviving a while, but not enough in the end.
This is like they just got a lot of like momentum, but they decided to just split up and farm with it, and now they're actually in a I think they need to group up. Hellbringer and bot lane.
There's just different fights going on here in this game, and well, the Hellborn team now they're going to get kill on Hellbringer, so. Good find there. The Hella New Earth, and he's been able to use that several times now to actually, I mean, he's 6-3 and 6 all of a sudden. Balfagor was completely locked down in the beginning of this game, and now he's not. He's ready to go to Shamans here. He's going to have a barrier idol in the near future at this rate.
Yep. Yes, okay, so that team fight actually led to them doing the push here bottom. I really like that. I think they could even go for secondary tower now that Malphite was used. They shouldn't be fearing anything from an upcoming team fight right now, if you're Hellborn.
Dude, Hellborn phrase.
Yeah, Swiftblade counter pushing, so that's going to get them to fall back, it looks like. Flux comes out here. Pharaoh runs into the Pestilence, by the way. He has the as one from Empath inside as well. There's the wall off, though. Mummy Walls trapping in further. I mean, at that point, I don't know if that was necessarily helping, but I guess trying to keep him nearby because the team support is coming. Pestilence stuns in right there. If anything, to save Swiftblade. He gets pulled back from Flux, but the Swarm, the flight, it is enough to actually get away right there.
That was a close one.
Yeah, well played there by Plicticid, actually. Saves his teammate and then gets out. On top of that, so they got them to port back. And that was important.
I mean, that was good positioning from Rexars. They knew that they couldn't take the bot fight, so they just decided to split push, and they got half. They got the tower down to half HP, compared to the bottom tower that barely took any. It took no damage, in fact. So yeah, that's really nice for them.
Yeah. Swiftblade remains a top farmer at 456 gold per minute. In fact, just got a firebrand purchased, which he's now going to have sent out to him here, or at least in the near future. So, again, he's definitely got the solid battle core here. You could say the Energizer, the Abyssal Skull, now the firebrand. Really trying to bulk up here. This top lane, there's a catch on a Balfagor. Talk about a tanky
Beautiful
target, but yeah, that energy field's doing a lot of work, and eventually it is just too much to handle. So, well played there. Those are definitely picks that they just need to continue to get out. Of course, that's their strength. That is definitely the strength here of Rexar's Reborn, the constant catch that they have.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like every team fight. Bot lane or mid river.
So Slash he's going to bounce around, spin away. No, the pull from Flux. Too much to handle there. And actually, Empath got a little too curious herself. She's going to get caught, throws out the wall, does have support coming over, but with Swiftblade dead, I don't know if they want to be taking fights right here. They are going to try. Hellbringer used Malphus, actually. Not going to get any kills, though, unless Pestilence tries for something. He is. Swarm goes out, and down goes Fabelle. So they do get one kill out of it here.
Interesting. I don't know what to think. This is just the chaos of fighting and fighting and fighting. I'm not sure if either team really has a plan at this point. It's like, just when is the next fight? Let's win the next fight. I think that's the plan right now. Because it feels like, I feel like Hellborn, they just need to group up as 5, honestly, and win the team fights. But they end up spreading out a lot because they still want farm, and then they get favorable team fight. They give away favorable team fights or pickups to the Legion side that then will, take some bad fights from themselves. But I don't know. I think the correct play for the Hellborn team would be to group up and take towers at this point.
Yeah. Look at Massero, by the way, on Flux. He's obviously had a great game here. In fact, top farmer in the game right now, 435 gold per minute. The Insanitarius choice. And he might just be going straight into, well, I wonder, actually. Frostal Skull is actually a pretty popular item on him. He might continue that trend here of being a right-click, working off of this farm. I was going to say Shrunken Head, of course, but I can see him going Frostal Skull, actually, in this matchup here. But Engineer is usually a good reason to get Shrunken Head at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. And Conqueror is going to be attempted here.
Attempted and killed fairly quickly, I would assume. I guess not the quickest, but they can tank it, that's for sure.
Definitely. And top lane, Rexar is just deciding not to deal with this. They know it's going on, but they're not gonna get the hands in that.
Yeah. They're gonna play a little safe here, and so they're gonna give the token to who is getting it, I wonder. Is it gonna be Balfagor or Flux maybe?
Flux, I think.
Okay,
yeah.
Flux is getting it.
Just the only thing that's really, like, Wildsol doesn't really benefit that much for the token. If he dies, Boo Boo dies as well and goes on cooldown for 30 seconds. And Balfagor, again, when he dies, he's gonna respawn. He's gonna have his ulti and cooldown, and he's just gonna be he's gonna be without spells as well. But
Yeah.
Flux, when he respawns, he's still gonna be having, like, he's gonna have his magnetic surge up and his release, and he's still gonna hit very hard. So I like that. I like that choice.
Yeah, again, with the way he's building, especially going on Sanitarius first, and definitely building a little bit of the physical threat. And we've seen it before, take back to the cracky days of BMG formerly, when he was known for playing this style here, and definitely saw work done with it. So the Soul's Bulwark on Wild Soul, by the way. So a lot of our items kicking in here, and of course that's what you would expect, especially with the massive team push, team makeup here. As this tower's dead. That's the first secondary tower kill. Oh, wow, he really flew in there. Hellbringer got pulled back as he flew in. It doesn't matter, though, gets the kill. Energy field is down. It catches Torture, actually. In fact, Farah also going to be left behind to be killed. Torture was able to port out, actually, so well played by him. Going to be fine there. Balfagor wants to go back in, though, with Wild Soul. Flux, he's looking for a target to maybe pull.
The DD Pesty.
Oh, that's dangerous, yeah.
He decided not to use it. I think they should have gone there. That was a 4v3 fight. No. It was actually a 4v4 because they killed Hellbringer, my bad.
Yeah.
But Penny ported out. So the 3 guys left versus 4 guys. Alright, that's what I meant. 4 versus 3. Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah. They have the token now, so I would like them to keep pushing. like as soon as everyone respawns, other than base pushing, I think they should focus on getting the auto secondaries top lane.
Yeah, hell, and they were right there, so actually well played initially, but Pestilence, the flat is just a little too fast. He's going to survive. Swiftblade in the meantime getting pushed back in right there. Matsera trying to keep him close as the swip's going to hit, but the wall a little better. Gets pulled back in. Not going to be enough still. What a play by Empath to save the day. Both teams really make some pretty big plays right there, but in the end, Swiftblade going to survive, and Essence Link will heal him on up. So good getaway once again on their part. Managed to escape right there. And Flux's token... oh, actually, it's still longer than I thought. It still has 2.5 minutes. For some reason, I thought it was much shorter than that. So, yeah, they're going to kind of regroup here and look for a push once again.
Yeah, I really hope they're going to go bottom because they don't have the... They can't go base just yet. They need like, the oh, he just actually finished the idle on Belphegor. Alright, well... they have... How much time do they have left on the token? They have 2 minutes left on the token. So... Oh, and Flux even going shrunken head.
There you go. Okay, so he does go that route.
Yeah, it's. I mean, Flux. You were saying like it's always good against an engineer to some extent, but since he's ranged as well, I feel like against Swiftblade and Pesty, it doesn't do you that much good, and those are the two carries. Oh, Pesty.
Catch Flux there. He doesn't have the shrunken yet, so I think it's a good damage. But again, 1.5 minutes on the token, so he's probably at a point himself where. Wouldn't mind if he dies here without the shrunken. Gonna wait for the next creep wave. Here comes the reset. Barrier idol still up. Not using it yet here. This tower's gonna take some decent damage. Malphus does come down. Here we go. Energy field pop. Pull back in from Flux. Trying to pull out if anything. Empath caught on the outskirts of it. She will go down. Swiftblade dead as well. So a 2-for-0 so far. But Wild Soul got a little too committed. And he's taken out. Flux in the meantime, and Sanitarius switching going on. He is getting low. He does have the token still. Pestilence goes pretty deep right there to kill Pharaoh. Might hurt him in the end. No, he will be able to fly away just fine. Down goes Flux, and the token is used. And now he's back up, good to go. Are they actually going to be able to get the tower here? It looks like it.
Buyback from Pesty, though.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah, he bought back here. But now that they don't have the token, and they don't have ulti and Belphegor for... Alright, that's actually up very soon. I feel like they ain't gonna need Basel. Nope.
Yeah, Pestilence. Did he overcommit again? This time he did. Yeah, that was a little too much right there. Rocky Balboa also gets picked off, and don't really see the point of that, frankly. I mean, the last thing you want to be doing against an all-out push team is diving them way out of your base.
It is like... None of these teams really are following objectives. I feel like it's been a lot of fighting and it's been fun to watch, but I don't think it's been. I wouldn't say this is not stay green Han. If you get what I'm saying, it's not. They're not really like nailing the timings. It feels like they have a little bit of a fluid plan going along both sides, and Enji's gonna get caught.
No chance for him.
So maybe Rexors are just getting a little bit caught up in the action and deciding to go for a little more than they can actually handle.
Yeah, it's again that's just another case right there with Enchi kind of peeking out, no vision, and it's like, are they still here? Well, yep. The answer is yes. Gets caught, gets killed. So guess he got that information, but came at a death unfortunately. Astrolabe just finished on Balfagor, by the way, so more team fight presence here. And obviously this Wild Soul is going to start scaling as this game continues on too. So it's not like it's not like this is an all-committed outright team to, winning now or not, because Wild Soul will definitely be able to scale. Now, with that said, though, I mean, he didn't go the Thunderclaw. He didn't necessarily go a heavy farm build here, of course. He did go the Soul's Bulwark early on, so he's not going to be skyrocketing at the same time.
Not exactly, and he is playing against a Pesty and a Swiftblade, which definitely is a combo. Like, I mean, they play well together, those two heroes. The minus armor on top of the physical ulti from Swiftblade, that can definitely come back to hurt you, even later on.
Yeah.
Bot lane, they're going for they really want these racks, and I understand them. Let's see how that goes. So.
All 5 are here. Like we've seen this before. I mean, they've spent a lot of time trying to get this tower.
Yep.
Here we go.
Wow.
Pharaoh going to jump in, catches Hellbringer in the background. Keck stun connects. Spin comes out. Malphus hits all 5, it looks like, but out comes the barrier idol. Pharaoh still going to die despite that. Pestilence jumping. You tell the Legion team is being very cautious this time as far as when and who to go on. Swiftblade thinking about going in. As soon as he does so, he gets pulled, and Swiftblade's going to fall shortly after. So the second he kind of second guesses himself. Now he does buy back, and he TP's in right here. That's NG, actually. Energy field comes down. So they're trying to coordinate this now. The racks will fall. They do get the Cone of Wild Soul, though. And the buyback Swiftblade's working. Nice job at the turret. Pushes back Flux. Torture running into the midst of it. He's probably going to fall. Try to do as much damage as possible, though. Flux goes down. Down goes Torture. And it's just Balfour on the sudden. He's going to go down. It will be a genocide for Rexar's Reborn. Now, big picture, they did use several more buybacks, including Swiftblade. And they still lost the melee racks in the end. So,
Yeah.
despite a genocide, I still think Panties Boys has something there.
I mean, it's gonna be so tough for them to get this next set of racks. One set is good, of course, but they paid so much for that set of for that melee rack only. So it's hard to call, but I would say actually that I think Slab's team is in a bad position now, because even though they forced a buyback, they're gonna be losing this mid tower unless something extraordinary happens, which it doesn't look like. So Swiftblade and Pesty, they are going to be moving towards a scary point. If Pestilence gets the shrunken head, he's going to be almost unkillable for this team. And if Swiftblade, you know, I don't know, maybe even a shrunken head as well, because the team fights are so drawn out that he goes down as soon as he doesn't have his spin up. But maybe a Shroud, shrunken head. I'd like to see him get either, just so he can team fight continuously.
Shot here on Swiftblade, yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because he can exit the fight if when his spin is down.
Mm-hmm. We'll see what he does manage to get here. Next in line, 2,700 gold saved up, so getting to that point definitely. You mentioned the shrunken head we see on Wild Soul, so again, more the trend of not really going to be flash farming, but just building to be able to push in the base here and being able to stand strong in these fights. The puzzle blocks on Pharaoh, just another example of that. Although I will say barbed armor seems like it actually would be a very good pickup this game too. But
On Pharaoh?
on Pharaoh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. He has a good chance of locking down to either Swiftblade or Pestilence, and then just popping that barbed armor is gonna make them pretty much they won't be able to do anything. They don't want to kill themselves on the barbed armor, and they can't really escape the mummies either. So yeah, definitely.
Top lane, look at both Swiftblade and Pestilence hanging around, seeing if they get somebody to push in this top tower. Now, Balfagor is almost thinking about it, but you could see he kind of second-guessed himself. He figured it just wasn't for the better, and that's good that he didn't, because he definitely would have been jumped there. So, but here comes that Kongor. While Balfagor is going to keep the top lane pushed out, so doing essentially two things at once as the Hellborn team, but not going to outright commit to Kongor, as they do see some illusions coming over. That will scare them a little bit. They know they are down a man, so it is a little risky there, but I don't think they're going to try here as Rexars. They're too far away. They're just simply scouting it out, seeing when eventually it is going to die here. So there we go. Token of Life. Once again, the same story on a Flux here. And there we go, the nice brand pickup. So the Frost of Skull eventually going to be picked up here from Flux. Still a ways to go, but starting towards it at least.
Yep. And Wassel is closing in. I'm pretty sure he's going to go for the full demonic here, for both the negative and the positive bulwark effect.
Yeah.
They're doing the same thing again. I really think they should just be going for the top tower. Oh my god, look at those mines.
Wow. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's going to actually do a lot of damage because of the AoE especially.
Yeah.
It nearly killed him, so that was something. But in the end, it comes up just short. That mine trap, though, that would have been huge.
Yeah. If that had been in a fight where people would come up, that can definitely win you the game. But yeah, I would, as I was about to say, I would like them to push out top lane, because they have the bottom lane pushed in. It's going to keep pushing in while they're slow fighting up here. So they have a chance of getting maybe some of the inner towers, getting the huts down, and slowly but surely the creeps will ruin their base.
Yeah.
So that's something I don't understand why they keep going mid. There's even like a second tier tower up here that's just waiting to get snacked. It's not even going to be defended at this point.
Flux is scouting around here with the Invis rune. He's going to find somebody. Hellbringer would be a good target.
Oh yeah, they see him though.
Mines! Oh man, there's mines right here. They're trying to lead it into it almost. Pestilence going to go in and then fall back shortly after, so there is a pretty big mine trap here.
Hellbringer with the Restoration Stone is going to be a very big problem. Oh my god. Sorry.
I love it. Those are just hilarious to watch. He walked right into it. But again, the good thing is that they weren't committed to a fight there or anything when that happened. So, but yeah, Resto Stone on Hellbringer is of course huge for our Legion side.
Yeah, exactly. And the strong head on Pestilence as well. This is going to be a really tough fight.
Oh, by the way, I got to bring this up. The Legion Swiftblade. Now look at what he got. He got the Rune Cleaver.
Wow.
At about 32 minutes into this game. So
split pushing. There we go.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense to me. He got it to push out the lanes faster. Possibly even deal with the counter push as for a counter push purpose. But yeah, interesting. Oh, Pesty.
Wild Soul getting caught, but too good in the end. Pharaoh missing the ulti. Pestilence still thinking about going in, actually. He's pretty far from his team. He needs to be careful about that. He is going to go in and catch us too, but again, he can go a lot further than others. With that puzzle box, here comes one Malphus, by the way. Swiftblade in the front lines right here. Barriato coming out. The second Malphus not used just yet. There goes the Hell on Neworth from Malphus. There's the second Malphus now. The energy field down on top of it as well. You look at Wild Soul on that ulti form, just pound it with the right clicks. Pestilence, Empath, they are dead. But now all of a sudden Wild Soul's on the run. So it seems like there's a big split right here. That's why, yeah, Mewtwo's being chased down this whole time. Can he pour it out? He is going to be able to actually pour it out. Massero was typing right there. Honestly, if he just kept on going, I'm pretty sure he would have killed him.
Yep, I think you're right.
But he got a little cocky. All right, well, in the end, he gets away.
It looked like Swiftblade's ulti got cancelled after like 2 jumps. I'm not exactly sure what happened. But it looked like Mewtwo took a lot of damage because his ulti got cancelled mid-ulti for some reason. I'm not sure exactly what that was, but yeah. A team fight's still going in favor of Hellborn side, even though 2 Malphite and an Enty ulti were helping them.
Yeah.
That's surprising to me. I didn't think they would be able to stand up against that, but they are.
Well, I think the biggest issue right now with the Legion team and to support that is the lack of damage. Swiftblade especially getting a Rune Cleaver. I mean, Split Push. Oh, Flux is dead.
Oh my god.
There's a token.
That's the token.
These mine traps, man. Rocket was honestly on top of it, and actually Flux is going to be caught here again. Barriato use. Here we go. No Malphus this time though, so picking a fight without your biggest ultimate is usually a risky move.
What's that from there? Everyone away.
Did he push? Oh, he did, didn't he?
Yeah, he pushed him. I thought he was going to pull them in and just seal the deal, but I decided not to.
So Malphus going to be up in about 14 seconds. But yeah, again, the overall damage is not the greatest here. We do see the Swift Slashes, though. Pharaoh, he will fall victim to that spin coming out. Wild Soul's going to go down as well. The spin doing a lot of work against him. And in the meantime, Balfagor a little too far up. He goes down. Flux going down. So much for lack of damage, they say. Mewtwo with a hat trick out of nowhere. It feels like another genocide. This one much better. And now you definitely start to feel Rexar's Reborn is starting to gain an edge here.
Definitely. But what? They win the fights without Malphus, and they lose the fights with double Malphus. What? I don't understand how these fights. What went wrong there? Or what went well for them in the first fight? But sure, okay.
Huh. Wild Soul's the only one with the buyback here.
This is Rax then. Yeah, this is Rax.
Yeah, he's not even going to waste it. Gonna do anything by himself anyways.
Yeah, exactly. If he buys back, he's not going to do anything with it. Can't defend that. And they're going straight for top. That's a really smart decision. They even knew it was low because Mewtwo has been pushing it in from earlier. And Pharaoh is up, so this is risky. From here on out, it's pretty risky.
Oh, they're still going to keep the push going. Here we go. Pharaoh jumps in. There comes Malphus, though, in response. And you see Swiftblade, he's just taking out the racks. And now he's just going to keep spinning. He's TPing. He ends up killing Pharaoh in the process. Or I guess Hellbringer got credit for it, but still doing plenty of damage. They get both the racks. The melee, that is, and they are definitely in the lead at this point. There is no arguing that right now. So, really, Panty's boys, they're definitely on the back foot now, and it's going to be tough here from here on out. Sure, you know, it's going to find the fact that they won a fight like they did with no Malphus being used. That should definitely tell you something. You know, obviously having them in a fight are going to just be more impactful in the end. So. Right now, this is a good spot to be in for the Legion side. I mean, I was talking about lack of damage on the Legion team. That's kind of happening now more so on the Hellborn side. And I think that goes back to Wild Soul's build as well, again, which makes sense because of what their strategy was. But he is not hitting too hard right now because of this build. Okay, he does have a full Demotic, which of course helps, but...
Yeah, but still it's... I mean, yeah, well, it's not like the Slap Soul we saw, you know, last time, where he would have like 3 big items and actually just auto-attack heroes to death. At this point, Wassel is just, you know, tanky. He doesn't hit that hard. He's good at taking down towers, but yeah, right now he's just a tanky mess that doesn't really deal that much damage. Mm-hmm. Same with Flux and Balfagor. They pretty much just rely on their spells to be able to kill someone.
Hellbringer 4,200 gold saved up, especially with the Resto Stone. Something like a Sheepstick here would probably
that would be
pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm coming out, so we'll see if and when he does get that. The Frostal Skull on Mercera, again, he's died a couple times since then. The GPM, although still pretty damn good, 390 gold per minute, has gone down a little bit and hasn't been able to sustain as much, so still trying to finish that Frostal Skull that he's been in the works for a while. But again, even when he gets that really isn't a very intimidating item. I feel like it'll just be nice to have, but yeah, it's definitely not your oh crap, now that he has that kind of item kind of deal here. So Frostfield Plate on Balfagor, of course, definitely makes sense, and that'll be good to have too. But on the other side of it, you got Mewtwo here with the Dancing Blade. Again, I want to say Wingbow, but I did see the previous game how we ended up having a Genjiro out of it, so I'm going to go Wingbow this game, though.
Yeah, I hope so at least. A Wingbow is going to be really good for just, you know, taking these auto-type battles with the heavy heroes as Wild Soul and Flux that don't deal that much damage, but I mean, they're going to hit less on you, and that means you can actually regen against them with the lifesteal. So yeah, I really like the FT Wingbow in this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the late Rune Cleaver, man. Chat's just kind of talking about it right now, I see, and that's something. But it had a purpose at least. It definitely does. And but I think that kind of goes to the lineup, though. That was definitely one of the major concerns of it from the beginning, was the lack of counter push, the lack of split push potential. But you know, getting a Rune Cleaver at least helps with that. Obviously on Swift.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. It hasn't done that much, but it's good for split pushing in the case that, you know, someone needs to push out a lane or something. That's where Swiftblade really shines with the Rune Cleaver. He can just, don't worry, boys, I got this lane, even though it's pushed in by Mega Creeps. I can take it. Mm-hmm. Oh, mid lane.
Finds a jump on a Pharaoh, pops the Shrunken. Not much chance for Pharaoh to get away from this one. That amp damage from the armor. Well, maybe I spoke too soon. The pushback. No, it's still not enough. You see the impale hits and secures the kill. Pestil's looking for more, but no, not going to get Torturer running away. And here we go with Kongor. Once again, swarms up. Doesn't do anything, though. Just looks pretty.
Yeah. I mean, it gives vision.
I guess it does give vision. Yeah, that's true.
So, you can see what Kongor's up to if you don't intend on taking him. It's not like the enemies are going to be perching off the swarm from Kongor. I'm not even sure they can do that, since he's not actually on their team. But yeah, Vision.
I'm actually noticing right now that the Legion team doesn't have a Soul's Bulwark buff, by the way. They do have a Sackstone and Hellbringer, but they don't have a Soul's. They do have the Abyssal Skull, too, so it's not like they don't have anything, but Souls would be pretty good here, too, I would think. maybe on the Pestilence would be the best candidate for it.
Yeah,
He's sitting on
yeah.
3,000 gold, so yeah, he really should buy probably
He
that.
should be
There
getting
we
it,
go.
definitely. Oh, yeah, actually. Yeah, okay, that's good. He also benefits a lot from the, the attack speed from the breastplate,
Yep.
demonic breastplate. So yeah, solid pickup there. They got their token. That's definitely like, I mean, that just shows you how much they're ahead. They got to take the token uncontested, and it's not like they're okay. He actually went frostfield plate.
On
I mean, that's not
really okay.
Yeah, that's not bad at all, honestly, because they have a lot of, like, they have Pharaoh, they have Wild Soul, they have Flux, and they have Balvacor. All they're more or less melee heroes. They're gonna be clumping up, so when they get slowed, team fights are gonna be slowed down a lot by Hellbringer's Frostfield plate ×2. So I like that.
Yeah. God, but a double sheep stick is hard to.
That's
pass
pretty
up.
good as well. But usually, sheepstick is used in situations where you have a certain target you really want to go for. If you look at their team on Hellborn side and go like, all right, who do I want to kill the most right now? You're just gonna find like a bunch of tanky heroes. Oh my god.
Okay, here we go. Malphus coming down. So they're trying to backdoor right here. Energy field used as well. You see the shrunken head. And Malphus kind of standing his ground. It's going to force Albertine to fall back. But Pestilence in the flank. Catches Torture. Quick kill onto him. So that's exactly what they wanted. This sandwich on top. And then Wild Soul's caught too. And he will fall. You can just tell that was definitely well executed. Oh, Malphus was just a second late. They tried to catch Pharaoh as he's TPing out unsuccessfully, though. So that second Malphus spawn, not the greatest. But now the chase is on Balfagor. As looking in the meantime, Flux is like, screw this. I'm going for the racks. He's going to try to take advantage here, but not the greatest sieger himself. Here we go. Balfagor gets caught. Down he goes. So Flux going to do what he can here. At least get the tower kill. Try to force them back. But Legion Side's like, you know what? We'll keep killing heroes and maybe start pushing the Sacrificial Shrine now instead. All the buybacks.
They can do anything.
Use it right here. Wild Soul, though, dies shortly again after. Balfagor, again, he's not going to be able to tank this. He doesn't do much damage at this point. He'll go down. Flux eventually came back, only to really come up short here. So game one, Rexos Reborn. Looks like they're going to have it in the bag here. And that would mean Panties Boys is not making top four. They got close, but losing their first game here. They split the series against BMG after being up 1-0. And thus, they're going to come up short, it looks like, as far as advancing onto the top four. So congratulations to Rexstars here, though. And again, they know that they're already playing the relegation match, but they're still playing like they want to win here. And that's good to see.
Yeah, they didn't give up. I mean, there's a chance to make the other team feel sour about not, getting that three-way tie. Getting that extra chance. Maybe they're just trolling, figuring like, why not? Why not? I mean, we have nothing to win, but they have something to win, and we could take it away from them. I mean, I'm not sure, but I mean, you should always play to win, so you can't really blame them.
All right, so we got so as we were talking.